Hello, everyone. This is Nicholas Ellis here tonight or today, wherever you are. Um, Whoever is watching me from an international area like Europe, hello, good morning there. It is evening here in the United States. Welcome to Asperger's Awareness with Nicholas Ellis. Tonight we're going to talk about autistic burnout or Asperger's burnout. Um, some things that may cause autistic burnout would be maybe you're working too many hours a week. Let's say you're working 7 days a week, working 12-hour shifts. That could cause burnout. Too much overload, too much stress can cause burnout and stuff. Even sometimes too much socialization can cause burnout. Me, do I get burnt out a lot? Yes, I do. It's one of those things where I don't think I'll ever be able to work full time, so I just work part time. So because I just get burnt out. I mean, um, it's just how it is. It's one of those symptoms of autism and stuff. Anxiety can do that too. Um, there's lots of things that can cause autistic burnout. Um, some symptoms. Some they call it autistic regression too. Autistic burnout can be very distressing for the individual and their family, especially if they don't know what is happening. However, it is important to note that autistic burnout is not necessarily an omen or permanent loss, regression or skill loss. Recovery is possible. Um, when you get burnt out, sometimes you can't think straight and stuff. Sometimes it happens to me. There's sometimes I have stressful days at work and I can't remember where I parked my car. It happens. It happens to neurotypicals too. Um, Autistic burnout can cause or it can happen at any age, but it usually occurs in a transition period in your life, such as toddlerhood, teenage years, and young adulthood. Any period in which a person experiences many changes or stress can prompt an episode of burnout. Very young people, children, may often lose their language skills. Some children may forget a chunk of their vocabulary, but still retain a few words. Sometimes when I get burnout, I will I don't know, it just get to the point where I'm really quiet and I can't get the words out that I want to speak. I don't know what that is called. It happens occasionally. It don't happen too often. Um, some of my remedies I do. I try to avoid people at the time. Um, Usually, what I like to do, most of the time, socialization don't drain me at all. I like to socialize. That's one of my things I like to do. Um, Others may stop making sound entirely and resort to physical gestures to communicate. Some people with Asperger's and autism do that. Autistic children may also quit early social behaviors such as responding to their own name or looking at caregivers' faces. Some adult symptoms, some of the symptoms in us adults would be increased sensitivity to sensory stimuli, such as fluorescent lights or scratchy clothing. Me, I work in a retail customer service environment where there are fluorescent lights. Yes, at times the fluorescent lights give me bad headaches. I don't know how I could work full time with the headaches and migraines and stuff, but to those who work 80 hours a week or have worked 80 hours a week, I'm proud of you. You're doing a good you're doing a great job. But you got to remember, with everybody with Asperger's, they're different. Not every two individuals is alike that has Asperger's or autism. It's even like that with neurotypical people too. Um, you may stim more often to compensate for that, for the burnout and stuff, for the autistic burnout. Emotional and physical exhaustion. You may feel emotionally exhausted. Like a friend could say, "Nick, I'm going to call you tonight, and I don't feel like talking tonight. I'm sorry." I could say. I would be polite about it. Um, I'm usually polite about it. Most of the time, I'll talk to somebody anyways if I'm burnt out, because I enjoy talking and sometimes it helps me, but not everybody it helps. Um, um, Emotional and physical exhaustion that can keep people from engaging in self-care tasks such as meal preparations. Difficulty making decisions, switching between tasks, and other executive functioning skills. Like me, I don't do too well multitasking. Um, like I went to school for office assistant program. I went to the university for. Um, could I answer the phones and work on a computer and type a letter at the same time? To be honest with you, I don't think I could. But I mean, there's always that possibility I could. I mean, if you worked for the right place. Not every employer is the same. Um, Speech issues. I do have some speech issues. These can range from forgetting words and unable to speak at all. Sometimes I get like that. Um, Not often. It's actually very often, maybe once every year or a couple times a year. I don't know. I've never really counted it to see how many times it actually happens to me. But I mean, or you may, like I said earlier, forget where you parked your vehicle when you're overwhelmed or too overstressed. Some ways to reduce a burnout, in my opinion, would be maybe go for a nice walk. Maybe you enjoy nature photography. Maybe you like kayaking or cross country skiing. Maybe you like riding a four wheeler, ATV, all terrain vehicle, or something where you drive that in the woods, or just any kind of activity that can get your mind off of things. I would not suggest driving a car if you're really burnt out. I would not even suggest driving any form of vehicle if you're burnt out. If you're burnt out and you can't drive home, call a friend, call someone, call a taxi. I've helped many people out through the years. I've actually given neurotypical people rides home from work. That's just how I am. I was raised a little bit different. I'm more of the type that I I enjoy helping people out. That's just how I am. That's how I was brought up. Um, Most of us enjoy helping others. That's something I enjoy doing. Just a reminder. I'm not a counselor, so I mean, if anybody wants to talk to me about anything, feel free to. You can message me. Tonight, I'm actually going to put a link to a Facebook group that I run. Um, I'm not sure what it's called. I'm not going to look on Facebook right now when I'm doing this video. Um, Reduced social skills. As an individual's cognitive resources are stretched thin, they may display more stereotypical autistic behavior or speech patterns. Like sometimes when I get burnt out, I may stutter a little bit more or skip words and stuff. Or sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just feel physically exhausted and I want to sleep. Like a week ago, I worked like I think it was like 4 or 5 days in a row, or maybe this was a month ago. I slept for 12 hours straight. I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, and emotionally exhausted. And to my friends out there that do work a lot, good for you. I mean, if you can do it and not get exhausted, I'm happy for you. But not all of us can do it. I'm not judging anybody's work ethic or anything. I'm just saying. I'm here to look out for you as a friend also. Um, and I'm here to raise awareness of what some of your symptoms are. It can cause general memory issues with autistic burnout can Asperger's burnout. Um, like I said, forgetting where you parked your car. That happens to me a lot. It even happens to me when I'm not overwhelmed. Or sometimes I'm distracted on my cell phone looking on Facebook. I'm like, did I park my car here or not? I remember a couple of years ago I was at the mall here where I live and I forgot where I parked my car because I was under a lot of stress. But you got to remember that don't happen too often, but just try to take a deep breath. I know sometimes it's easier said than done. Even I'm not perfect at that. I mean, I may tell people to do this and do that, and me as an individual, I'm not perfect at managing my anxiety. Nobody is. We're just human. That's and it's natural to have some anxiety, but when it overtakes you and uh, is shows symptoms like if you're having a panic attack. I've had several panic attacks in the last year because of COVID-19. Um, just the stress and stuff. What I would do is try to take a deep breath. If you like to journalize, maybe journalize. If you like to blog it, blog it. That's cool too. Or if you like to make YouTube Asperger's autism awareness videos, that's awesome too. Um, I'm fairly new to the YouTube making videos. Um, this is actually very new to me. I think I've been doing it for like 3 or 4 months now, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look and I will let everybody know in my next video. There are no specific diagnostic criteria for burnout. However, many skills need to be lost in order for it to qualify as autistic burnout. The severity of symptoms may be different from individual to individual. Um, One individual can have even varying levels of burnout at different points in life. So, I'm going to be 35 years old this year. I could have something could I could maybe get a burnout later this year. It happens. Sometimes it usually lasts a couple hours with me. Sometimes longer. As far as communication goes, I'm usually pretty good at communicating most of the time. Sometimes I forget to ask questions at work, and sometimes I ask too many questions too. They'll say, "Well, Nick, you need to speak up and ask more questions." Well, I kind of take that kind of literally, um, but it doesn't mean ask any question you feel like it. I mean, it doesn't say, "Well, I'm working in the men's clothing department." I think we need more hours for the department because we should literally iron the clothes to make them look nicer. Most businesses won't do that. Most retail places will not do that. I've never actually heard of a retailer doing that. But this is just giving an example. Um, If you do have a job, write down your tasks. That helps you too. That will help you a little bit better if you do experience some burnout. Take some vacation time. In other countries, they call it holiday, paid holiday time off. We call it paid time off here in the United States. It's just a different wording. Um, Hold on right here. I'm just gonna get a drink of water while I'm doing this video. Like I said before in my previous videos, I happen to drink a lot of water because my mouth gets kind of dry from talking. Especially when I'm making these videos, it's just my voice is a little bit louder, and I'm trying to make sure the my voice quality is good. Um, I I may not be perfect at wording things at times, but I will always try my best. Um, if anybody has any suggestions on how I can improve my public speaking, let me know. Just email me or just let me know. I do post my email address. Like I said tonight, I'm going to post a Facebook group below if I don't forget. I hope I don't forget. Um, why does autistic burnout happen? Um, like other types of overwhelm, autistic burnout occurs when life changes exceed a person's resources. Yeah, when you have rush changed. I mean, try to have a routine. I mean, I know sometimes I'll sleep until noon. Hey, if that's your routine, that's fine. But I mean, stick to a routine. If you go to bed at 8:30 p.m., that's fine too. And if you go to bed at 8:30 p.m. and get up at 6:30 a.m., that's fine too. But stick to a routine. If you're taking, maybe you got to do a certain routine before you go to bed. That can actually help so you can get less burnouts, in my opinion. Remember, this is just my opinion, so don't take my word for it. Um, do research on it too. Um, Regardless, coping mechanisms that have been used are no longer enough. Okay, I'm sorry about that, everybody. Perhaps a person is going under a stressful transition in their life or major change in their life and may have been pushing themselves too hard too long. Like the example might be, I'm working 80 hours a week. And no, I'm not working literally 80 hours a week. That's just an example. You're working 80 hours a week. You're pushing yourself to the max. Your energy meter is running low, meaning you're kind of on empty when it comes to energy. Drinking coffee can help. Stuff with caffeine can help, but not you. Usually, when you reach a tipping point that you're so tired, you're better off just to go to sleep and get a good night's rest. Usually, 8 to 10 hours of sleep is recommended. Um, then certain skills and abilities shut down temporarily as the brain recovers. The brain may take a while to remember these skills as a person adapts to their new situation. Um, Research into autistic slash Asperger's burnout is relatively new. It's a relatively new field area. No science has found a definite answer yet why this happens to us. Um, our brains react into a different way. Sometimes I go to bed and I don't know, like I said, my brain can be like a supercomputer at times, and I'm processing too much information at one time. So then I'll actually get up and actually start reading more, which doesn't help the situation, but sometimes it helps me calm down. Um, um, One theory is that autistic people have higher levels of neuroplasticity. I've never heard that. I will look that up. I don't know what that means. In other words, autistic brains may not find it easy to create new connections between nerve cells. Maybe that's something with me when I forget where my car is out in the parking lot when I've been overwhelmed all day at work, or I'm just overwhelmed in general, period. Um, Neuroplasticity may contribute to some of autistic people's exceptional problem skills. Yeah, some of us have really good problem solving skills. Some of us may be good at camping or building a campfire. I'm not. Um, I'm just not that type of person. Of course, I've never been taught to do it, so I guess, hey, I'm open to learning new stuff. Neuroplasticity may contribute to some of the autistic exceptional solving skills. However, the brain sometimes redirects the resources away from certain skill areas as it develops. Um, and it takes those tasks offline. So if you're overwhelmed and overstressed, and I mean this can happen to neurotypical people too. So it's just not you. I mean, it happens to me. It happens to other people with Asperger's syndrome um, and autism spectrum. It's just you sometimes you lose your abilities, and it may appear that you're offline. I wouldn't call it offline. You're just physically and emotionally and mentally wore out. Is basically what it is. Um, Masking. Although public understanding of autism has improved throughout the years with Asperger's and autism, the autistic community still experiences severe stigma. Much of the modern day media persists in developing or depicting autistic people as emotionless or self-absorbed. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not emotionless. I'm not self-absorbed. I love helping people out. I do not lack empathy or I do not lack sympathy. Sometimes it may appear that I'm self-centered. That's just how it is at times. Or self-absorbed are other stereotypes. So the stereotypes need to stop. There needs to be more awareness. So what we can do is to work on this with other individuals in the neurotypical community. We can talk about it. We can give presentations about it. We can do a project about it. Stereotyping is unacceptable um, with any group of people. Period. The stereotyping of autistic people needs to stop. Now I'm getting off topic, but I'm just saying. Um, Nobody with autism or Asperger's is self-centered. You're not self-centered. People are just saying that. It's not appropriate for them to be saying that. If they're saying that, just tell them that I'm autistic. I got Asperger's syndrome. Please stop saying that to me. That is not very nice. Um, but Many autistic slash Asperger's people are taught to mask from when they were young. They hide their symptoms. You may be good at it for a long time, but then all of a sudden you get burnt out from hiding your symptoms. Yes, I hide my symptoms too. Or people will tell me, "Oh, Nick, you don't look autistic. You don't look like you have Asperger's." That's not true. That's just making that stereotypical assumption again. Now, when you mask symptoms, it means you're hiding them. I'm not meaning a literal mask. Sorry if I had to explain that. That would be like hiding your symptoms. I wouldn't even really call it hiding symptoms. You're just not showing the symptoms. Um, for example, parents may insist that a child hug their relatives. I don't mind hugging people. It doesn't come naturally. Uh, Frankly, I'd rather shake someone's hand. That's just how I am. Um, if the person resists, they might be accused of being stubborn or selfish. You're not stubborn or selfish if you don't want to give somebody a hug or shake their hand. That's not being stubborn. You just don't feel comfortable doing it. Everybody's different. I mean, not even neurotypical people like to hug and stuff. I mean, we all have that social bubble. We all need our space. Some people like their space maybe 2, 3 feet apart. Right now, it's 6 feet or 2 meters apart. Um, yeah, that's just your personal space. You may, yeah, and when people get in your personal space, you may get more overwhelmed, and that may contribute to some burnout. Um, the parents' relatives may refuse to try alternative greetings. I would say try an alternative greeting. That's the best way to work. Be more, uh, people need to be more accommodating. I know at times I'm not very accommodative too. That's how I am. I'm not perfect. No one is. Um, Try an alternative greeting such as high fives. That's cool. The children slash adult need to learn in their own terms, their own needs, what their social preferences are. If I like being around people 5, 6 hours a day, that's how I am. That's how it is. Um, Masking often takes exceptional amount of cognitive and emotional energy. Some people with Asperger's and autism may um, monitor their body language and tone as they talk. Do I do that? Not really. Um, I know sometimes I may talk a little bit louder, as you can see in my videos. Of course, I kind of have to talk at a certain level, otherwise nobody will hear it. Now, if I talk really quiet like that, you can't hear me that well. But if I talk like this, you can hear me. That's just a different tone of voice. Others may become hyper vigilant for signs that they may accidentally upset someone. I usually jump. People could come up behind me, and I usually jump. Don't ask me why. I've I've got yet. I haven't figured that one out yet. I jump easily, so don't come up behind me and go boo, Nick. That's just makes the heart rate go up and makes the anxiety go up, unfortunately too. And if you do it to somebody that's autistic, it's not very nice. Um, just be respectful of your uh, with other people with autism. We all need to show respect. Even though that we do have autism and Asperger's, we need to respect each other's feelings and beliefs and opinions. Sometimes it's easier said than done. For some autistic people, even being in bright, loud, or a crowded place can be draining. Me, like I said, I've worked in customer service for about 15 years now. I don't know, 14, 15 years. Can I get drained from it? Yes. Sometimes I actually get more energy talking to people. Don't ask me why. I guess that's just how I am. Um, some people become so good at masking that it becomes difficult to make an author. Sorry about that. My retainer was in my mouth. That won't happen again. Um, so good at masking that their autism diagnosis rescinded. That doesn't mean that you don't have autism. Autism and Asperger's don't go away. Um, that's one of those things where I don't really understand this right now. So if I'm talking about it, and I'll do more research up on it. Others are not diagnosed at all. There's some people that are not diagnosed at all in life. And to my friends out there that haven't been diagnosed out there, and you suspect that you may have Asperger's or autism, I would seek help. I would seek help to get a diagnosis. And there's nothing wrong if you're not diagnosed either. If you're self diagnosed, I accept that. If you don't want to get a diagnosis, that's fine too. Um, but I mean, if that's something you want to pursue getting a diagnosis, that's fine. Go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist to get a diagnosis. I'm not here to diagnose people. I'm just here to raise awareness. Um, their as people age, their stigma may wane over time, reducing their ability to mask for long periods. That has happened to me. Um, Making burnout more easily. So masking your symptoms can cause more burnout. Um, um, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can research too. Um, don't believe everything you hear on the internet or read on the internet because it's not always accurate. Anybody can set up a website and make a blog and make false information. Um, I would say is just try to stay calm and try to take a deep breath. If you're into meditation, or if you're into praying, or if you're into playing video games, if that calms you down, do that. Um, there's different methods to stop autistic burnout. Sometimes you can't stop it at all. As you know, my tone of voice is getting a little bit more quiet right now. I'm getting a little tired. That's probably why. I'm not burned out or anything. I'm just a little bit more quiet now. Um, and I'm going to get going now. I hope everyone has a great day and a good morning and a great night wherever you are. Have a great night. Have a great day. And this is Nicholas with Asperger's Awareness and Autism Awareness signing off. This is part 1 of this video. Thank you for watching. If you like my page, please click and subscribe. Thank you.